Muses from Moscow is the name today. Baby Emmett liked it. It is sunrise on the Palouse and we are looking for an interesting pal named Allie Walker. Hope we can find her. Excuse, but I need coffee. This will work. I can tell you about Allie. Greetings on this fine day. Give a wave to the lovely lady pictured above. I filched this nifty photo of my pal, artist Allie Walker, in action out on the streets of Gay Paris, one of her favorite travel stops. I wanted to show her in Paris because she is an artist with an attraction for stylish vintage clothing that she wears with elegant style. She looks like she just stepped out of a painting from the golden era of Paris La Belle Époque, before Europe and the rest of the world was overcome by the madness that led to 2 devastating world wars. I can easily imagine Allie sipping wine, nipping on bits of tasty cheese and talking philosophy at an outdoor cafe in the 1920s. She is a free spirit who fits in at many a big city or quaint small town. She's been around. I am telling you about her because what unfolds as the pages turn is noteworthy, entertaining, and perhaps even a bit inspiring. We will see. Come join us for a few moments. Here's the good news. You will not have to rate this story, subscribe to anything, push a thumbs up button, or tell your friends. Rather, take a few deep breaths, relax in a comfy spot, and grab a beverage, for Allie is about to discover an unforeseen treasure on her walk today, and you are invited to come along. But first, let's look at her art. Here is her latest creation, which will illustrate better than I could attempt to describe her eclectic style. She finished this lovely piece today after fretting over each detail and was mostly happy with the final product. She took a last look as she tied up her boots. She buttoned up her new white leather jacket that her keen eye had spotted on a lonely hanger at the Salvation Army thrift store a few days ago and exited stage right. The merry sound of the voices, giggles, and rowdy running around that made up the melody of the neighborhood elementary school recess became today's background tune. Allie felt a strong surge of energy. The daffodils and tulips were on display in nearly every yard she passed, and a few trees were showing off their beginning blossoms. She noticed the beauty of the dawning of spring and felt in the right frame of mind to soak it all in. She ambled up a fairly steep hill with ease, paused at the top, and glanced around, a bit shocked. She felt like her old self. She smiled and picked up the pace. She popped in her headphones and clicked on some jazz. The tune that came on made her feel like she was sneaking around. She loved it.
Damn, I think I might have overdone it some. I need a break. Got to take it slowly. So hard to not go all manic after all the months of pain.
She grabbed onto the pole and did her best to calm down. Allie had pushed it too much and panic was set to take off. She knew getting back home would be a struggle and tried to slow down her thinking and decision-making. Should she call John for help? No, she had leaned on him enough. Perhaps she could get a taxi. She had gotten lost in the groove of the music and figured a change in tunes might distract for a moment or two. It did. And allowed her to go through her options as she resumed slowly strolling again. Allie impulsively made her decision and headed over to the city park, which housed an enormous old water tower. It was a pretty enough place, but her decision had not been based on scenery. She needed a bench, and quickly. The park appeared empty except for one young couple with their arms around each other, smooching on a blanket and soaking in the sun. Allie had enough energy, barely, to make it to the remote back entrance and slipped onto the wooden bench. The ringing in her ears that had been so intense for the last few steps had dissipated and the dull feeling in her head that often portended a massive migraine spell had magically disappeared. She felt relief and knew from experience exactly what to do. Allie closed her eyes and visualized one of her power spots, a view of an Upper Peninsula Michigan lake, that had always relaxed her. She imagined being there and could actually hear the soothing water sound in the distance. Allie focused on her breathing, taking deep breaths and exaggerating the blowing out. After a few minutes, she risked opening her eyes. She felt fine. The safe play would be to glide back down the hill, turn on some soft music, get something light to eat, and lie down on the sofa. But it had turned out to be such a glorious day that she decided to sit quietly for a few more minutes.
I know that look.
A voice owned by an elderly, short woman with long gray hair spoke from behind her. She moved slowly carrying a large leather satchel.
I know you don't want any visitors at this moment, but I saw your struggle. Thought I should offer some help. Did you get to the bench on time? I could go get the Plymouth and take you home if it is getting out of control. Migraine, isn't it? I get the goddamn things at times myself.
Oh, hi. Yeah, you're right, but I believe I got it in time. In fact, I was just thinking that maybe I could still finish my walk after all. I try not to let them control me all the time. I'm fine. Sit down for a few moments if you'd like.
Well, if you are feeling okay, then how about coming over to my little place over there and having a cup of tea with me? I would appreciate the company as my husband is out of town for the week. It's that green place over there.
Oh, my. I have always admired your cute little house. you have such lovely flowers. Yes, you bet. I could really use a cup of tea.
The place was captivating chaos. To some, it may have appeared messy, but to Allie it was right up her alley. There were collections in each corner of various artworks. Photos and paintings hung on the walls from floor to ceiling, unfinished works on canvas took up most of the furniture space, and healthy plants made each room into a cozy jungle. Allie stood scrutinizing one particular painting when she heard her calling from the kitchen.
Come on in and take a seat. By the way, my name is Pearl. Excuse all the mess, but my husband, Jess, is an artist and leaves his stuff all over the place. This is my room. He knows my kitchen is off limits to his nonsense.
The kitchen had been painted a soft yellow. Pearl had put on brighter yellow tiles on the walls. The room gleamed as the sunbeams from two skylights danced around. Nothing seemed out of place. Gorgeous flourishing plants, artistically staged, filled the room. The magical space smelled like cinnamon along with some delicious scents seeping from the oven.
Pearl, I'm Allie. It's an honor to meet you, and thanks for your kindness.
They sat at the kitchen table, which looked out on a fenced-in totally private backyard that was terraced with golden rocks, railroad ties, and dozens of plant containers. Two white wooden chairs sat invitingly in one cozy corner. Hundreds of tulips of every color and several types of daffodils, each with their special tinge, were lumped together. 3 large fruit trees were already in full bloom, and the immaculately groomed lawn showed a healthy, vibrant green. All the bushes were neatly trimmed and thriving. Pearl had created a horticultural masterpiece.
My God, Pearl! I have never seen a more exquisite backyard in my life.
Well, thanks, Allie. That's my art. Author/therapist Virginia Satter once said everyone needs a magnificent obsession, and this yard is mine. So, what's your magnificent obsession, Allie?
Oh, I don't know for certain. Vintage clothing is something I love. I enjoy traveling and doing my form of art. I guess those are my obsessions.
Allie, I would really like it if you'd hang out here and share a meal with me. I have something in the oven that will be ready in about an hour. In the meantime, how about some wine and tell me about that stellar jacket you are sporting today?
Oh, I don't know, Pearl. I really shouldn't press it. But damn, whatever is in that oven smells so good my mouth is watering. Yes, is the answer, and yes, to the wine, too. I spotted the jacket in the thrift store. I couldn't believe it when I put it on. It fits me perfectly. By the way, I noticed that satchel you were carrying. It looks like expensive leather.
Oh, my satchel. It's a leftover from my past, miserable life as a trophy wife in New York years ago. I use it to pick up trash. I pick an alley each Thursday and pick up after the slobs who like to throw shit around. Weird hobby, huh?
No way. I would love to join you on your cleaning mission. Count me in. I'll have to find me a satchel this next week.
Nope. I'll give you one of mine. I have a dozen of the damn things stuck in the basement. They weren't cheap either, as my worthless asshole of an ex-husband, the big judge himself, liked to keep up appearances. I really enjoy filling them up with garbage, as I know it would drive the pompous prick beyond crazy if he could see what I am using them for.
The two women sealed their new friendship with a meal of Caesar salad, homemade garlic bread, a pasta dish that would have been a featured item in any 5-star restaurant, and more red wine. They talked for hours about everything under the sun. Allie began slipping on her coat when Pearl grabbed her and hugged her hard.
You have no idea what you have done for me, Allie. Years ago, On this very day, something horrid happened that I will never be able to forget. You helped me get through this day. I can never repay you.
Her eyes filled with tears.
No, you don't understand. Pearl, a year ago, I couldn't get out of my hospital, so fierce had been my suffering. I had been ill for so long and I honestly didn't think I would ever get back to feeling normal. It has been a struggle. This has been one of my favorite days, and I am thankful that you took the time to show concern for me. It means so much. What happened to you, Pearl?
My precious daughter, Danny, almost died of a drug overdose. And her addiction is ultimately my fault. You've heard of the sins of the father, right? Well, my daughter almost died because of the weaknesses of her mother. It is a fact.
Tell me the entire story right now, Pearl.
Only if you'll eat a slice of my huckleberry pie. We picked them ourselves up on the St. Joe River. I'm having a coffee with a shot of Bailey's. Want one?